Hey, what's up guys? So I've been using the Canon 24-105 F4L for some product photography, portrait photography, and car photography for the last 8 months. So I wanted to make a video on my experiences using this newer 24-105. So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing it to how it compares to the older version, how it handles in studio shooting, how it handles in outdoor shooting, and using it for video. Previously on my Canon 6D, I had the original Canon EF 24-105 F4L IS, and overall that was like a pretty decently performing lens. I didn't have too much issue with image quality or anything. However, I do think that the RF version is just a little bit sharper. One thing I would say about the older version is that the build quality just wasn't very great. There would be zoom creep, and there's no lock on this lens to prevent the barrel of the lens from extending. So I would notice that sometimes I would have the camera on a strap hanging from my waist, and the barrel of the lens would just extend on its own. This was also a little bit annoying in my bag because sometimes the lens would just expand if there was space in the bag for it to, and the lens hood was unnecessarily large and didn't have the satisfying lock that the new RF version does. I haven't had a chance to try the second version of the EF 24-105, and it looks like they addressed most of the issues that I listed with the first lens. However, they did add about another 100 or so grams to the weight of the lens, making it just a little bit more heavy and bulky at 795 grams. The RF version is a nice compromise in terms of weight compared to the first version of the 24-105 and the second version on the EF mount, weighing in at 695 grams versus 670 grams of the first EF version. The RF lens also has the new Nano USM focusing motor, which means that it's going to be better for video, and I don't mind this too much because I don't use manual focus on this lens that much anyways. Talking about studio shooting, this lens is not particularly my most favorite lens just because it does have a minimum focus distance of 450 millimeters, and this leaves just a little bit to be desired if my subject's not bigger than the size of a human head. However, that being said, this lens works really well for portrait photos so long as bokeh isn't a big component to your photos. Shooting outside is a blast with this lens because in having no zoom creep, even when I don't have the lock on, it makes it really easy to just move around with the lens. Even when I have the lens zoomed halfway to 50 millimeters, I don't notice any zoom creep. And it's just really nice that I don't have to worry about the front portion of the lens extending too much and bumping into things. The plastic finish is kind of strange in the sense that it does scratch visually if you bump it up against things, but it's something you can kind of just rub off on the plastic. It's a nice dark matte black plastic, and it still feels really high quality and durable. So far I haven't had much issue with the lens plastic scratching, so that's been really good. I've also been shooting outside in some more dusty environments where there's construction nearby or just debris when it's a windy day, so the weather sealing on this lens and the gaskets actually have worked really well for me even when I have the lens extended. I've taken this lens through rainy days, snowy days, windy days, you name it. However, when it got really rainy, I felt the need to wipe off the extending portion as I didn't really want any moisture to go inside the lens. But generally overall, if it's just drizzling a little bit, you should be fine. I also really enjoyed using the IS on this lens because it allowed me to hold some of my shots around 1/10 of a second for sharp results. After 8 months of using the lens, I've only started seeing little microscopic pieces of dust in the rear element of the lens. However, I don't really see this that much through my photos. As a video lens, this is a great all-around lens, having IS and a really nice standard zoom range from going from wide to short telephoto, and in having great image stabilization and a sharp picture. I really enjoyed using this lens for video as well. Also, having the zooming mechanism be quite smooth makes it a great run and gun lens. It has a 77mm front filter thread, which means it won't run you through a roof to buy any filters you need for this lens. And it being quite common means that you can also step down a 82mm filter to the 77. Overall, I think this lens, not being that much more expensive than being the second version of the EF 24-105, makes it a great value and definitely the one to go for if you're in the market for a 24-105 on the RF system. I'd recommend this lens to anyone who's just starting out with photography and haven't tried a lot of genres yet. However, it is incredibly useful for specific types of photography as well. It gives you great value, the versatility to shoot a variety of subjects in both photo and video. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this particular lens. Are you guys going to be getting one? Do you guys already have one? And what are your experiences using it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's all there is for this week's video. If you guys found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you guys gave me a thumbs up down below. If you guys are interested in content similar to this, in relating in photography and video, then you guys can hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.